Hello students, welcome back to MKH video series. My name is Aditya and in the previous video we have successfully completed chapter number 9 which was circles. So I hope you have understood all the important topics and the theorems that I've told you in that chapter. Now it's time to move on to the new chapter. So in this video we are going to start a new chapter whose name is, you can see, Heron's formula, right? So here I'm just jumping over to chapter number 12 here. So in this chapter we are going to discuss about the area and perimeter of various figures, right? So let me just start off this chapter with the introduction here. So यहाँ पे इस chapter के अंदर let me just explain you that we have studied in earlier classes about figures of different shapes such as, you can see, square, rectangles, triangles and quadrilaters. That means various figures which consist of four sides, right? Now let me just tell you कि हमने पिछली classes में बहुत सारे figures पढ़े हैं, बहुत सारे figures देखे हैं. You can see like squares, rectangles, triangles, quadrilaters. So we have also calculated parameters and the areas of these figures, right? So हमने इन सभी figures के area और parameter भी find out किए हुए हैं smaller classes में. So I hope you know the formulas of that to find out the area and you can see parameter of different figures. Now you can see here in this chapter, let me just take an example first. Like अगर हम यहाँ पे एक floor की बात करते हैं, for example, so I've taken a floor here. So this floor can be of your home or of your classroom. So यहाँ पे मैंने एक rectangular floor ले लिया. So this is a rectangular figure. You can see हमें पता है rectangle की एक तो length होती है और एक breadth होती है, right? Now हम smaller classes में देख चुके हैं कि हमें कैसे length और breadth निकालनी है. Suppose अगर यहाँ पे आपको length जो है वो दे रखी है suppose 10 meters और breadth दे रखी है 8 meters, right? So हम इसका एरिया जो है ये वाला बीच वाला एरिया क्या होता है, इसको हम बोलते हैं एरिया, राइट? नाउ दिस लाइन, यू कैन सी द बाउंड्री इज नोन एज द पैरामीटर, राइट? सो हमें पता है कि एरिया क्या होता है, जो बीच वाला होता है, यू कैन सी पोर्शन. नाउ दिस बाउंड्री इज नोन एज पैरामीटर, राइट? सो हम दोनों कैसे निकालते हैं, उसका फॉर्मूला हमें पता है. एरिया कैसे निकालते हैं हम, रेक्टेंगल का लेंथ इनटू ब्रेड्थ, राइट? सो आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे लेंथ कितनी थी 10 मीटर इनटू ब्रेड्थ कितनी थी 8 मीटर. सो आप देख सकते हैं 10 इंटू 8 कितना हो जाएगा आपके पास 80. नाउ मीटर इनटू मीटर दैट विल बी मीटर स्क्वायर, राइट? सो हमेशा ध्यान रखिए कि एरिया मीटर स्क्वायर में निकलता है या फिर सेंटीमीटर स्क्वायर में निकलता है, राइट? नाउ टॉकिंग अबाउट द पैरामीटर, सो हाउ वी विल फाइंड आउट द पैरामीटर ऑफ रेक्टेंगल. उसका फॉर्मूला भी हमें पता है 2 इंटू लेंथ प्लस ब्रेड्थ, राइट? सो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं लेंथ कितनी है आपके पास 10 प्लस ब्रेड्थ कितनी है आपके पास 8. So 10 plus 8, that will be 18. So 18 into 2, that is 36 meters, right? Now remember, जो पैरामीटर होता है वो हमेशा या तो मीटर या फिर सेंटीमीटर में फाइंड आउट होता है, राइट? So you have seen an example जहां पे हमने एक फिगर लिया रेक्टेंगुलर फ्लोर और उसका एरिया और पैरामीटर फाइंड आउट किया with the help of a formula, right? So now you can see in this chapter we are also going to discuss about area, right? But you can see, let me just tell you here, I'm going to take triangle first. So यहाँ पे एक साइंटिस्ट था जिसका नेम था हेरोन्स, राइट? सो ये हेरोन्स जो साइंटिस्ट था इसने एरिया ऑफ ट्रायंगल फाइंड आउट करने का फॉर्मूला दिया. I'm going to explain you in the deep here, but first let me just make some space out here. So I'm going to erase this. So students, let us move on further into this chapter. So now we are going to talk about triangular structure, right? So हमें पता है that a triangle has got some area जिसको हम find out करते हैं with the help of a formula here. So here the formula of a triangle is, you can see, half into base into height. So with the help of this formula we can calculate the area of any triangle, right? But let me just tell you that the triangles are of four types here. Let me just tell you, the first one here is right angle triangle. So I hope you know about right angle triangle. So let me just first discuss about a right angle triangle here. So you can see a right angle triangle is, जिसमें आप देख सकते हैं एक एंगल कितने का होता है 90 डिग्री का, राइट. सो हमें पता है कि ये 90 डिग्री एंगल के जो अपोजिट साइड होती है दैट इज द हाइपोटेनियस, राइट, विच इज द लार्जेस्ट साइड ऑफ एनी ट्राइंगल, राइट. देन यू कैन सी टॉकिंग अबाउट द अदर टू साइड्स. सो इनमें से हम कोई भी एक ले सकते हैं. एक बेस होती है एंड the other one is perpendicular, right? So let me just write down base here and this as, you can see, perpendicular. So perpendicular in short form written as P, and base in short form written as B, and hypotenuse in short form written as H, right? So now let me just talk about the area of this triangle, right? So हमें जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया half into base into height फॉर्मूला से मैं इस ट्राइंगल का, जो कि राइट एंगल ट्राइंगल है, लेट मी जस्ट राइट दैट. सो राइट एंगल ट्राइंगल, राइट. So I'm going to discuss about the area of the right angle triangle first, right? So the formula is half into base, you can see the base here, and the height. Height also known as, you can see, perpendicular. So don't get confused, ये ही क्या है एक्चुअल में height है, right? So this is the height. Now let me just take an example here. So if I just search for an example here in the book, so you can see if I just take three sides as, you can see, 5 centimeter, 12 centimeter and 13 centimeter, right? Now जैसे कि आपको मैंने यहाँ पे three sides provide की. Now let me just tell you कि right angle triangle के अंदर जो hypotenuse side होती है that is the largest side. So आप देख सकते हैं इन तीनों में से सबसे बड़ा कौन सा है? 13 centimeter. So that is going to be the hypotenuse, right? So let me just write that. So this is 13 centimeter here. So now talking about the other two sides, तो चाहे तो आप इस 5 centimeter को perpendicular ले लीजिए और इस 12 को base ले लीजिए, or you can just interchange them. चाहे तो इसको base ले लीजिए और इसको perpendicular. That depend on yours, right? But the resultant area is going to be still the same, right? Because we need only the base and height. So यहाँ पे base or perpendicular is also known as height. So you can see base और height से ही हमें area find out होगा. So you can interchange base and perpendicular, or you can say height, right? So यहाँ पे अगर मैं देख सकते हैं base कितना ले लिया 5 centimeter. So here you can see the perpendicular here we have taken as, you can see, 12 centimeter, right? So यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं हमने ले लिया तीनों sides. अब let me just find out the area of this triangle, right? So area of triangle is half into base into height. So here you can see the base, you can see, is 5 centimeter. You can see then the height is 12 centimeter, right? Now 2, 6 to 12, 5 into 6, that is going to be 30 centimeter square, right? So this is going to be the area of this right angle triangle. So you can see how with the help of the formula again we have calculated the area of triangle, which is right angle triangle. Now let me just move further and talk about, you can see, other types of triangles. But first let me just make some space here. So students, अब बढ़ते हैं next type of triangle की तरफ. Now suppose if we want to calculate the area of equilateral triangle with side 10 centimeter, right? So हमें पता है कि equilateral triangle कौन सा होता है जिसकी तीनों sides की length जो होती है वो क्या होती है? Equal होती है, right? So let me first draw a triangle here. So let me just tell you that ये equilateral triangle है, यानी इसकी तीनों sides आपस में क्या होंगी? Equal होंगी. So all the sides are going to be of 10 centimeter, right? So you can see here I have drawn a equilateral triangle और मुझे इसका एरिया फाइंड आउट करना है. सो हाउ वी विल फाइंड आउट द एरिया? अगेन विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस फॉर्मूला. लेट मी जस्ट शो यू. सो हियर यू कैन सी इफ आई जस्ट सी द हाइट हियर. सो यहाँ पे बेस तो मैं देख सकता हूं दैट इज 10 सेंटीमीटर, बट व्हाट अबाउट द हाइट? सो लेट मी जस्ट शो यू हाउ टू एक्चुअली कैलकुलेट द एरिया ऑफ अ इक्विलेटरल ट्राइंगल. सो मैं यहाँ पे क्या एक हाइट ड्रॉ करूंगा. यू कैन सी, लेट मी जस्ट टेल यू कि जो इक्विलेटरल ट्राइंगल होता है उसका टॉप वर्टेक्स जो होता है, टॉप वाला पॉइंट, अगर उससे मैं एक परपेंडिकुलर ड्रॉ करूं, सो दैट विल यू कैन सी बाइसेक्ट द बेस हियर, राइट? सो यानी कि ये कितने कितने सेंटीमीटर में डिवाइड कर देगा? 5 सेंटीमीटर ईच. So remember, the perpendicular drawn from the top vertex of a equilateral triangle actually divide, or you can say bisect, the opposite side or the base of the triangle, right? So आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे ये 10 सेंटीमीटर की साइड को 5 and 5 में डिवाइड कर दिया. Let me just write that correctly. Now you can see this side is going to be the hypotenuse for this side triangle, right? So मैं इस half triangle की बात कर रहा हूँ. So let me just give it some name here. So ABD triangle, you can see here. So मैं इसको पहले ले रहा हूँ in triangle ABD, right? So if I just write here, so in triangle ABD we have, so यहाँ पे हमारे पास hypotenuse, मुझे पता है 90 के opposite side कौन सी होती है? Hypotenuse ये perpendicular है तो एंगल कितना हुआ? 90 degree. Then this is the hypotenuse. You can see that is 10 centimeter. Then the base is clearly 5 centimeter, right? In this triangle, 5. Then you can see we have to find out the height. You can see the perpendicular, or you can say the height first, right? You can write the hypotenuse as HYP so that you can not get confused in, you can see height and hypotenuse, right? Both are H. Now you can see यहाँ पे मुझे height find out करनी है इस triangle की first. So we know the Pythagoras theorem which says that the hypotenuse square, this is equal to perpendicular square plus base square, right? So आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे hypotenuse side का square जो होता है वो किसके equal होता है? Perpendicular के square plus base के square के equal होता है, right? So यहाँ पे perpendicular we have to find out, so leave it as it is. Then talking about the hypotenuse, हमें पता है यहाँ पे कितनी है hypotenuse? 10, so 10 square plus base, you can see that is 5 centimeters, so 5 square. Now let me just make some space above. So here you can see 10 का square क्या होता है? 10 into 10 that is 100. Then you can see p square plus 5 का square क्या होता है? 25. Right? Now 25 will get subtracted here. So plus 25 यहाँ के क्या हो जाएगा? Minus का 25. Then you can see further this p square will be equal to 100 minus 25 कितना होता है आपके पास? 75. Now next step में क्या होगा? मैं इस square को remove करूंगा तो right hand side में 75 के ऊपर क्या आ जाएगा? Square root. Right? Now let me just tell you that 75 can be written as 25 into 3. 25 3 is 75. Then further you can see 25 का square root कितना होता है आपके पास? 5. But then root 3 का square नहीं होता, so that will be as it is, right? So 3 का root नहीं होता, so that will be remaining as it is in the square root. So 25 बाहर आ जाएगा क्योंकि 25 का root क्या होता है? 5. So here you can see we have got the perpendicular as 5 root 3. So मेरे पास ये आ गई 5 root 3, you can see. अब मुझे यहाँ पे height पता है इस triangle की. Also we know the base here which is 10 centimeter. So now we can apply on this formula here, right? That means half into base into height. So आप देख सकते हैं height यहाँ पे मैंने find out कर ली the perpendicular. So base already we know that is 10 centimeter. So let us calculate the area of this equilateral triangle, right? Now let me just tell you, so the area of triangle here will be, you can see half into base. So what is the base here? You can see the base is 10 centimeter complete, right? Into height. So what is the height? You can see we have calculated here the perpendicular. That is 5 root 3. Now you can see 2 5 ja 10. Now you can see 5 into 5, that will be 25 and root 3 as it is. So you can see the area will be in centimeter square as I've already told you. So this is going to be the area of this equilateral triangle. So you can see with the help of this formula again we have calculated the area of a equilateral triangle here. So students, let us move further and talk about now the isosceles triangle, right? So suppose we want to find out the area of an isosceles triangle with again the formula half into base into height. So how we will find out the area of an isosceles triangle, right? Now we know that an isosceles triangle is a triangle which is having two sides of equal length and the other third one is unequal length, right? So you can see if I just draw an isosceles triangle here with two equal sides given as 5 centimeter each, right? So हमें यहाँ पे पता है ये isosceles triangle है यानी दो sides equal होंगी. So I have taken the length of the equal sides as 5 centimeter and the third unequal side की जो लेंथ है वो मैं सपोज कीजिए 10 सेंटीमीटर और यू कैन से 8 सेंटीमीटर, राइट। सो यहाँ पे मैंने आप देख सकते हैं 8 सेंटीमीटर ले ली विच इज नॉट इक्वल टू 5। सो आप देख सकते हैं ये दो साइड्स इक्वल हैं एंड दिस इज अनइक्वल साइड, सो दिस इज अ आइसोसेलेस ट्रायंगल। नाउ हाउ वी विल फाइंड आउट द एरिया ऑफ दिस isosceles triangle with the help of half into base into height, right? Now first thing is I have to first draw the height of this triangle to apply the formula half into base into height, you can see, right? So मैंने यहाँ पे perpendicular draw कर ली, you can see now we don't know the length of this height, right? Or you can say the perpendicular. So हम कैसे इस perpendicular को find out करेंगे? First you can see ये जो perpendicular length जो मैंने draw की है that will divide the third side in two equal parts. That means it going to be bisect the third side. So यहाँ पे 4 centimeter each की हो जाएगी. Now you can see this is of 4 centimeter. Here you can see if I just give a name to this, so x, y, z suppose, and this point as P. So let me just talk about this left side triangle x, y, P. So you can see in triangle x, y, P, you can see यहाँ पे हमें base जो है that is 4 centimeter, perpendicular or the height is what we have to find out, and this is the hypotenuse, right? So you can see applying the Pythagoras theorem again here, you can see that was h square is equal to p square plus b square, right? This is the formula of you can see Pythagoras theorem. Now you can see the hypotenuse is 5, so let me just substitute that equal to p square. Now the perpendicular or the height is what we have to find out, so keep it as it is. Then the base here is 4 centimeter square, right? Now 5 square is 5 into 5, 25. Then p square is as it is. Now 4 square is 4 into 4, 16. Now the 16 will move here. So 25 minus 16. ये plus का 16 क्या हो जाएगा? Minus. That will be equal to p square. This implies you can see p square will be 25 minus 16, that is 9. So you can see अब next step में मैं यहाँ square हटाऊंगा तो क्या हो जाएगा right hand side पे? Square root over 9. So 9 का square root क्या होता है? 3. So here you can see we have got the perpendicular as, you can see 3 centimeter, right? Let me just write it correct here. Now again with the help of the formula you can see half into base into height, we can calculate the area of this triangle, right? So you can see here the base is this complete you can see of this triangle, that is 8, into the height is that what we have found out the perpendicular, that is 3, right? Now 2 4s are 8, so 4 into 3 that will get you 12 centimeters square. So this is going to be the area of this, you can see isosceles triangle, right? Remember this complete YZ is going to be the base here, right? But to find out the height here we are going to use this half side, you can see 4 centimeter as base. So don't get confused here about the base of the triangle, that is the complete length of the triangle, that is YZ, that is 8 centimeter, right? So you can see this is how, again with the help of this formula, we have calculated the area of an isosceles triangle here. So students, let us move on further here. So now we are going to discuss the area of a scalene triangle, right? Now जैसा कि हमें पता है कि scalene triangle कौन सा होता है? जिसकी तीनों sides unequal length की होती हैं, right? So how we will find out the area of a scalene triangle, right? Now if you just observed a little thing in the previous triangles that we have discussed, कि हमने सभी के अंदर जो height होती है triangle की वो find out की, then we find out the area with the help of half into base into height. So you can see in the formula there is height here, right? So अगर suppose कीजिए हमें triangle की height नहीं पता, now we are going to take a scalene triangle जिसकी तीनों sides unequal length की है and we don't know the height, right? So कैसे हम फिर area find out करेंगे? Because हमें अगर height ही नहीं पता होगी then we cannot apply the first formula that I have told you, that was the area of triangle can be calculated by half into base into height. So now if we don't know the height we cannot apply this formula to calculate the area, right? So फिर हम कैसे calculate करेंगे area? Here you can see name of this chapter derived from, you can see the Heron's formula, right? So there is a scientist Heron's who has given a formula to calculate the area of a triangle in which we don't know the height, right? So बिना height के कैसे हम किसी triangle का area find out करेंगे? That was the formula given by here, right? So that formula is also known as Heron's formula. Now let me just tell you, we are going to take a scalene triangle and then find out the area of the triangle by the formula given by Heron's in terms of its three sides. So यहाँ पे three sides को use करके triangle की जो तीनों sides है उनको use करके we can calculate the formula of a triangle here. So the formula is S bracket S minus A, S minus B, S minus C. Now remember, all these are in multiplication, right? And in the square root, right? So this is the formula given by Heron's, which is also known as Heron's formula to calculate the area of triangle, right? So we can calculate the area of any triangle with help of this formula, right? If we don't know the height of the triangle. So you can also call it a second formula here by which you can calculate the area. The first one is this. If you know the height, you can use this. If you don't know the height, you can also use this formula, right? Now, in this formula, you will find out the A, B and C. So what are these? So A, B and C are the sides of the triangle, right? We know the three sides. So they are represented here in the formula by A, B and C. Now talking about S here. So this S is actually the semi-parameter. Semi-parameter का मतलब है parameter का half. Half means semi, right? So हमें पता है कि अगर suppose कीजिए आपके पास एक triangle है, you can see which has got three sides A, B and C. So मुझे पता है कि ये जो line है, outer line boundary, this is the parameter. और हम parameter कैसे find out करते हैं? Simply by adding them, right? So हमने अगर इन तीनों को add कर दिया, so that will be the parameter of this triangle. So अगर मैं parameter का half कर दूं, that means इन तीनों sides को plus करके 2 से divide कर दूं, so that is going to be the semi parameter, यानी parameter का half, right? So that is denoted here by S. So यहाँ पे आपको क्या करना है? Simply तीनों sides को add करके 2 से divide करना है. That value is going to be the value of S, which is semi parameter, and you have to substitute it into this formula here. And the three sides you can easily obtain from the given figure, right? So I'm going to take an example here to show you how to actually apply this Heron's formula to calculate the area of a given triangle, right? But first, let me just make some space out of here. Now, I'm going to take a scalene triangle as I've written here. So suppose if I just take one side as 40 centimeter, then the other one as 24, and the other one as 32 centimeter, right? So you can see all the three sides are of unequal length, right? Now we are going to find out the you can see the area of this triangle. Let me just mark it. So you can see here, if I just take this side as A, this side as B, this side as C. आप चाहे तो कोई भी A, B, C ले सकते हैं because it is written in the formula here. So मैंने इन तीनों sides को A, B और C assume कर लिया. So you can see the value of A here is 40 centimeter. Then the value of B is 24 centimeter. Then the value of C is 32 centimeter, right? Now मैंने आपको बता दिया यहाँ पे A, B और C क्या है? तीनों sides है triangle की that you can obtain from the you can see figure here, right? Now talking about S. So S we know is semi-parameter that can be calculated by just simply half of the parameter, and we know the parameter of this triangle can be calculated by simply adding these three sides and dividing by 2. So you can see parameter क्या होता है? Simply adding the sides. So 32 plus 24 plus 40 divide by 2. आपको क्या करना है? Simply तीनों sides को add करना है, then 2 से divide करना है. That is going to be the value of this S, which is semi-parameter. Parameter divided by 2. So we can calculate parameter by simply adding the sides and then simply divide it by 2 to get the semi-parameter. So if I just add them, so you will see 4 plus 2, that will be 6. Then 4 plus 2, 6 plus 3, that will be 9. Right? So 96 divided by 2. Let me just cancel them at the table of 2. So 2 1 is 2. Then 9, 2 4 is 8. 1 remaining, that will be 16. So 2 8 is 16. So that will be 48. So here you can see we have got the value of S here, which is 48 centimeters. So I'm going to simply substitute the value of S as 48 into this formula here, right? So now we know all the, you can see variables here. So just let us substitute into the formula. So the area will be, you can see, under root. Now S, you can see that is 48. Then you can see this is in multiplication. Then S minus A. What is S? That is 48 minus A. What is A? You can see the A is the side of the triangle, that is 40. Then again multiply. Then S again, that is 48 minus B. You can see that is 24. Again multiply. Then S, that is 48 minus C, that is 32. So one by one you have to subtract all the three sides from the semi-parameter S and just have to multiply it with the semi-parameter, right? So this is how you have to find out the area of the triangle. So now let me just make some space below. So here if you just simply solve this, so what you have to do first is write this 48 as it is. Then 48 minus 40, that will be 8. Then 48 minus 24, let me just check out. So that will be, you can see 24, right? Multiply now 48 minus 32, that will be, you can see 6 and 1, 16, right? Now we have to multiply this. So let me just multiply one by one. So 48 into 8. So 8 8 is 64, 6 carry, then 8 4 is 32 plus 6, 38, right? 384. So now into 24. Let me just write down, like you can see 384 into, now 24 into 16, right? So you can see that was 384. Now let me just multiply 24 by 16. So 4 6 is 24, then 6 carry, 6 2 is 12, 12 and 6 18, then 1 into 24 is 24. So that will be 8 and 4, that is 12, 1 carry, so 2 and 2, 4, right? So you can see if I just cross check it, so 6 4 24, then you can see that will be 2 here, right? So 6 2 12, 13, 14. I have just done a mistake here. So you can see now 4, 4 and 4, 8, then 2 plus 1, that is 3. So we have again got 384 by multiplying this, right? Now you can see it is coming twice here. So square root में से एक बार आ जाएगा. So that will be 384, right? So this is going to be the area here. You can see अगर similar चीज square root के आती है तो वो एक हो जाती है बाहर आके, right? That you know very well. So you can see now the area of the triangle here is going to be 384. So यहाँ पे हमने इसका area find out कर लिया with the help of Heron's formula. You can see the name of the chapter. So you can see this is how you have to apply the formula, the Heron's formula, to calculate the area of a triangle if you don't know the height of the triangle, right? But if you know the height, you can also use this formula here, which is half into base into height. So both can be applicable, but the condition is if you don't know the height, you have to use this. You can see Heron's formula. But still, if you know the height and you want to use this formula, then you can also use that, right? So if आपको height पता भी है, still you can use this formula. So this is, you can see, applicable formula on all the kind of triangles, right? So you can see this is how you have to apply on the formula here. So that was all in it.